Hey guys, Walls here with Monday's task for our Of Mice and Men daily grammar practice sentence 1. So while we're in the novel study, I want to find DGP sentences that are either like from the official book, like this one, or from the novel. But the ones like this one, I read it and I was like, ooh, this one has to do with like chapter 1 and Harvest Gypsies. So I'm trying to find sentences that are kind of thematically related to the novel, rather. Now this is a doozy though. This is like I think originally it's supposed to be like week 9. So there's a lot we've got to talk about with this sentence. So I'm going to focus on a couple key elements of this sentence, and then we will go into more detail later in the week. So here is our sentence. But he found that a traveler's life is one that includes much pain amidst its enjoyments. So this is from Mary Shelley's novel Frankenstein. You'll get to that one later in your English career. So it's a little old school sounding. It was written a long time ago. But we can still break it down. Don't be intimidated. Let's take it one word at a time. First, let's find our stuff, the nouns and pronouns and the things, places, ideas, people, that stuff. All right, he is a pronoun. So I'm going to label that one. This is third person. And it is nominative because it is not acting like like an object of anything. It's not a direct object or anything like that. It acts as a subject. He found what? He found that a traveler's life is a noun, is one that includes much pain amidst its enjoyments. Includes what? Includes pain. That's a noun. Amidst what? Amidst enjoyments. That's a noun. We've also got one here. Now, one is an indefinite pronoun. Literally, like indefinite, literally in the sense that like one what? I don't know. It just says one. So it's indefinite as to what that means. Now, let's focus on travelers here real quick. That is a noun, but it is not a regular noun. It is a possessive noun. That'll come in handy on Wednesday when we add our, what do you call that? That thing, this thing, apostrophe. Okay, I think that does it. Pain. So again, remember, a noun isn't necessarily something that you can that exists in space outside of your head. It's not something that you can always pick up and throw. Life is a noun. I can't pick up and throw a life, but I have one. Pain is something that I experience like physically, but it doesn't actually exist outside of my head. The thing that causes me pain might exist outside of my head, just like enjoyments. The thing that I enjoy might exist outside of my head, but enjoyment lives within my head. It doesn't. So it's abstract. Okay. Now we've got to figure out what's happening. What are the action words? What are my verbs? He found. That is a present tense action verb. Includes, that's an action verb. I can include something. Now, I think that's it for our action verbs, but we got to talk about this little guy. Is a linking verb. It's a present tense linking verb. So we've had action verbs this whole time. Now we have our first linking verb. And now remember, linking verbs express a state of being. It is what? It is this. Okay. I think that is all of our verbs. Now we've got to deal with words that describe stuff. I'm going to hold off on this word that real quick, and let's focus on but. But is a coordinating conjunction. And I know like all of your English teachery rules say, never start a sentence with a conjunction. But if you are ever an established author and you have published your work and you feel pretty confident in your ability as a writer, go for it. Start that sentence with a conjunction. It's no big deal. Amidst, this is a funny word. We don't say this a whole lot, but it is a preposition. Notice the pattern here. Amidst its enjoyments. Oh, we forgot this is a pronoun. This is a third person possessive pronoun. There we go. Its enjoyments. So notice, like your prepositional phrases are always preposition modifier noun. That's a very common preposition phrase format. There we go. Now, much describes pain, so that's an adjective. How much pain? Much pain. There we go. Okay, I think that's it, except for the word that. Now, in this sentence, this is one thing that I mentioned this in a previous video about kind of how we're focusing on making our sentences more interesting by cramming more information in them. This is one sentence, but it has multiple ideas in it. It has multiple clauses. Now, remember, a clause is a subject and verb and any modifiers that go along with them. And clauses can be independent, meaning they live on their own and they don't need anything else to make them make sense. Or they can be dependent, meaning they depend on an independent clause to make sense. So the word that here introduces dependent clauses, just different kinds of dependent clauses. So a dependent clause that is, or a word that introduces a dependent clause is a relative pronoun. So this introduces an adjective dependent clause. Now the rule of an adjective dependent clause is just like a regular adjective. It's to describe something. So the word that here, right here, it relates this thing, includes much pain amidst its enjoyments, to the word one. What is one what? That includes much pain amidst its enjoyment. So that's why, that's kind of how I think of it as a relative pronoun. It's one that connects a describing clause to the thing that it's describing. Now this word, that up here, is a noun clause identifier. Now it's basically a fancy way of saying instead of introducing a adjective clause, it just introduces a noun clause. Now, noun clauses can do anything that nouns can do. So look at the way the sentence is phrased. But he found. He found what? He didn't find just life, okay? So this idea of him, the sentence says, but he found life. He found that a traveler's life. So is one. That actually goes the whole way. He found that a traveler's life is one. There you go. So that's this is a lot. So the noun clause identifier, that, introduces the noun clause. He found what? He found that a traveler's life is one. Then you've got the second that is a relative pronoun that includes much pain amidst its enjoyments, to the indefinite pronoun one. Isn't language great? Okay, so again, this is an example of a sentence that it's one sentence, but it contains multiple ideas. And as we begin looking at how we can include different types of clauses into our writing to make our writing more interesting and varied, we'll come back to this stuff as an example. So here's Monday's sentence work or DGP work for sentence 1 of our Of Mice and Men study. Hope you guys are having a good one. I'll talk to you again soon.